Hey, this is Dr. Peter Terzop. I guess this is a week of ideas. I had a student just call me, and she was making a point about a project versus paper. And when you do a lot of online, the word paper, project, article review, it all blurs together. But at the end of the day, most of the time it means whether you do an article review, a research paper, or a project, typically it revolves around a paper, okay? But the idea is that, well, how do you use sources in an academic setting in, say, a project? Let's say the scenario is hypothetical, and where we got teams or leadership or poli-sci, it doesn't matter what topic is, but there's this hypothetical situation, and you're writing this paper, and you're supposed to be making up stuff to show how you're so smart and everything's working out, and whatever, fill in the blanks. But we want to make it academic because that's what it's all about, right? It's about showing someone how you research, how you develop the ideas in your head, and how you express them in writing. So one idea, and it's a very simple idea, but remember micro, macro. As we analyze things, whenever we do case studies, for example, this is very clear. We might pick a company which we feel very comfortable talking about, but it's very small or doesn't have a lot of research. That's micro, okay, smaller, down to the details, okay, real world, whatever you want to call it. But it's hard to find information. So you have to say, well, how do I cite? Well, you do have personal communications. If it's that small, you probably know the people, and that's a form of citation. Not the best, but at least it's something. So that's how you can get some real specific knowledge about that company. But you may not find that much, just enough to kind of cite here and there. But then you can use macro, meaning larger concepts. Let's say theories or leadership concepts or political concepts, culture. So you may sit there and say, well, groups do this. Okay, well, Smith said that. Smith in 2017 related that large groups do the following thing. By the way, company X does this by doing the following things. Click, 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 click. Right? So you see how the macro idea, the larger concept, was cited, academic. Then you explore it, because remember, we cite and expand. We want to expand why that citation is important. So then you can develop it that way. Now, if you're lucky and your company, say you're studying a bigger company, Amazon.com, so then you can use research specific to that company, but also larger concepts as well. But the macro ones, the theories or the findings, studies, all that, those are really good to weave into a paper that you might not have a lot of good information on, and you can use that in order to fill in the idea, in order to make it more academic. And that's, it's not a hard concept, but it requires you to be able to visualize larger theory, larger concepts, things that are not related specifically to what you're studying, and then applying it down to that local level. So that's very, very important, okay? And it's one thing to be able to find a company, and Amazon does this and Amazon does that. That's easy research. I mean, you may have to research to find really good sources and all that, but the point is, it's plenty of work out there. It's harder to actually pick a smaller company and then have to apply these major theories or macro level concepts to a smaller level concept and then expand it through details. So, because if not, what happens is you wind up just typing a paper and it becomes more of an opinion paper. It's just, well, I think this and I think that and this is this and that. Yeah, it all reads great, it looks great, but if there's nothing behind it, there's nothing behind it. So then people start wondering, meaning professors, well, did you really, I mean, it's great what you wrote, but is it really academic? Did you really research? Did you really, what are you comparing this to? I mean, anybody can make up a paper. I told that student, I said, my 11-year-old daughter, smart girl, I mean, smart, like a whip. If I told her just go write a paper about whatever, and she understands, she would be like, well, what's the point of that if it's going to college? Even she gets it. So she would ask the question, well, why does someone not cite something? She knows that in 7th grade, okay? So that's the difference between just an opinion paper and academic paper. And so don't get too wrapped up. If you hear someone say project or whatever, it's probably meaning paper. But that's important. Talk to the professor like she did. Look, just write a good paper. That's all I'm worried about. Call it whatever you want. Article review, write a paper. I mean, that's what an article review is. But don't go online and say, well, this is what article reviews look like at the New York Times. Well, it doesn't matter what the New York Times does. We're writing article reviews in class in an academic way, right? So if it's a PowerPoint, then use PowerPoint. It's that simple. So, but if you ever have confusion, talk to the professor. it's an email or phone call worth the time. So anyways, short video, just different concept, good ideas, and I do appreciate the idea. Thank you, and good luck.